For the 1984-85 Moose Jaw Generals of the Saskatchewan South Central Senior Hockey League, it would be a season of success. From the point the puck dropped at the start of the regular season, it was obvious to their fans that this team would be destined for greatness.
As a hockey team, right from top to bottom, very, very good. There was no real weaknesses, so that was pretty impressive.
Led by head coach Jim Hrychuk, the Moose Jaw Generals finished an impressive regular season in first place with an unblemished 24-0 record. A wealth of individual honors for the Generals players came with such an impressive team showing. Kevin Moore, Jim Meisner, Darren Bobick, Bob Barker, Brian Russell, and Kevin Evans were all named to the All-Star team. Meisner led the league in scoring, while Moore was selected as the league's top defenseman.
We played 51 games, won 49, lost 2. We scored 457 goals in 51 games, so a lot of offense.
When it came to the playoffs, Moose Jaw hit them in full stride, handily defeating the Weyburn Devils in the semifinal before moving on to the league finals against the Milestone Flyers. The resulting 4-game sweep gained the Generals a berth in the provincial championships. In the provincial semifinal, the Moose Jaw Generals skated past the Regina Bruins to move into a best-of-5 league final against the Lloydminster Border Kings. Headed into the final series, the Generals sported an incredible 34-game winning streak.
Looking back on it, I think the other two top teams in Canada were probably Regina Bruins and Lloydminster, and they pushed us to the limit, and it was kind of a wake-up call for us. I'm not saying that we had an easy time up till then, but you realize after you lose a couple games that we were one loss really from not winning provincials, which would end the year.
The battle for provincial hockey supremacy would soon provide the Generals with their toughest challenge yet. It was a classic series that required a fifth and deciding game, which the Generals won handily, 8-3.
It didn't matter who would have won that series. Saskatchewan would have been well represented. They were a really good team.
Next for the Generals was a trip to Manitoba to play the Thompson Hawks in the Journal Cup semifinal series. The Generals made quick work of their opponents, sweeping the Hawks and earning a trip to the Journal Cup final. Moose Jaw hosted the Journal Cup final against British Columbia's Quesnel Kangaroos. The Generals claimed the Western Canadian hockey crown with yet another series sweep and gained a chance to play for the Hardy Cup, the premier Canadian National Senior Championship.
The Quesnel series was a very physical series. We had played them the year before in Quesnel and kind of knew what to expect, but they had a very big, chippy senior team, and we never backed down, and that made the difference in the series for sure.
Once again, Moose Jaw hosted, and they faced off against what turned out to be a very familiar opponent, the Prince Edward Island Charlottetown Islanders. Charlottetown, the Eastern Canadian champions, had previously defeated Moose Jaw in the 83-84 Hardy Cup finals.
It was a big letdown when we lost in Charlottetown in '84. I thought that we built a team strong enough to maybe, to win it all, and then we fell short.
The rematch was on. Led by Hardy Cup MVP Carl Van Camp, the Moose Jaw Generals capped off their remarkable season with a 4-game sweep and the Hardy Cup national title in front of their rowdy hometown fans, finishing their overall season with a 45-2 record.
Well, I'm very proud of them. It's an accomplishment that not everybody gets to do or see or be part of, and I'm very happy for these guys, for sure.
We had everything on that team. I played semi-pro in the American League, and that we could have taken this team, gone down there and competed really well. We had some really good skaters. We had some real big, tough guys. We had a great defense. We had good goaltending, and we could play the game any way you wanted.
I'd like to say, as players, we all owe a lot of thanks to Jimmy and Kenny for the hours they put in organizing this team and, building the team and making it possible for us to be here today.
Installed in the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame on June 13, 2015, the 1984-85 Moose Jaw Generals senior hockey team.